Hi, this is Steve with Universal Devices. Purpose of this video is to give you some information. If you get a message that says can't determine INSTEON engine, I'm going to go ahead and try to add a device so I can show you what that message might look like. If you try to type a device in manually, we're going to enter one here, 01284D. Use lowercase letters also when you type it in. I'm just going to call this device test. And I'm going to just choose to remove existing links in the device. But now when I try to add it, let's go out and see what happens. Now this may be something that's happened to you before. That's why you're looking at this video, because you've tried to add a device and that you assume the ISY just can't add it. But you get this message says can't determine the engine, and in fact it probably should say that we can't talk to the device. That's really what it means. So there's the engine message that pops up. So what that means is that we're not actually able to communicate to it at all. It has nothing to do with the fact that we can talk to it, but we can't determine what it is. It just means that we can't understand it at all. What I'm going to do here is open an event viewer so you can actually see what happens during the process. I'm going to clear it out and I'm going to manually add it in again. This will give you some exposure to actually understand what happens during the process. And then I'll give it the name test again. Over on the right hand side you can see where it says INSTEON transmit, or INSTTX, INSTACK, and then there's a pause. We're looking for an INSTSRX. That's the response back from the device. So what does the ISY do? It says, you know what, I'm going to try again. And it does it a second set of time, and then a third, and then it's ultimately going to fail. After the third time, when it gets no response back from the device, we're going to get a can't determine engine type. Now, I want to show you another way of doing it. Usually what happens is you have to just repair the communication to the device. It means it can't talk. It's got nothing to do with the ISY. This is how I prefer to do it. If you go under here and you hit start linking, and then you hold the set button in, I'm going to plug this device into the wall. But now go and hold the set button in on the device. And what happens is it pops up. Now, I know that it actually talked to the PLM at that point. I'm getting physical confirmation by the fact that I pushed in the set button and the device itself didn't go into link mode. I look at the screen and when it pops up and it shows me that the device is connected, I can take it one step further if I want, and I can actually bring up that event viewer here, set it to it at level 3. Now when I hit finish, watch what happens. I get the ACK and the SRX. Transmit, acknowledgement, SRX, I get a series of those. And ultimately then the device will add. Now at this point, if I want, I can go through, right click, and I can rename the device. Give it that name I was originally going to give it. Call it test. But this is how to determine what's happening. When you get that message that says can't determine engine, this way you can tell exactly where the problem is. And in most cases it has to do with an INSTEON network issue. It's not an ISY issue. So you need to work on the communication between those devices. Make sure that the PLM can communicate. So when you type in the ID of a device, you lose a little bit of that instant feedback. By going here and say start linking, when you press and hold the set button you get instant feedback on whether or not the PLM was able to hear it or not. And at that point it's a link just between INSTEON devices. I hope this video was helpful. Please let us know if there's anything else that we can do by emailing us at support@universal-devices.com, and we'd like to create other videos to help with your troubleshooting needs.